Hello, Shadwell here, ready to talk about the next film in my collection, Catch Me If You Can from 2002. It's directed by Steven Spielberg and stars Leonardo DiCaprio and Tom Hanks. Have we done a Spielberg movie yet? I'm having trouble remembering because, well, me, but also because it's harder to nail down every Spielberg movie in my mind because he is kind of a jack of all trades instead of working in predominantly one genre. And I just remembered, we have watched a Steven Spielberg film already in the A's when we watched Amistad, which was a superb film. But what I was saying about the director of that and this film, Steven Spielberg, is that he has branched out and done several films in several different genres and hasn't really settled in one direction like some famous directors have. Like, what do you think of when you hear Martin Scorsese? Mob films. It's not all he's done, but it's his most famous. What about Dario Argento? Well, he's done a small amount of films outside of horror, but you don't really hear about them. Steven Spielberg is one of the only directors I can think of that when I think about him I can't come up with one predominant genre he works in, as he's done historical, action, spy, drama, family, and as a few years ago he added musical to his repertoire with his remake of West Side Story, which I still haven't seen. Catch Me If You Can is a caper thriller, I guess you could categorize it as, about Tom Hanks, federal agent, chasing a teenager running around the world, committing grand amounts of check fraud and faking his way through several high-profile jobs like pilot, doctor, lawyer, and even Secret Service agent in one hilarious scene. It's inspired by the true story of Frank Abagnale Jr., which has come under fire for its validity, but luckily I'm not concerned with that. I just care if the movie's good. And it is, very much so actually. I highly enjoy this film as it takes you through the cat and mouse game between Hanks and DiCaprio's characters Carl and Frank. I especially like the scenes in the first half of the film where Frank is learning to hone his craft. The audacity of the character as his gambits become more and more elaborate, far-fetched, and scarcely credible. But he keeps getting away with it, staying just barely a step ahead of FBI agent Carl. This film also features a great actor whose work I really admire, Brian Howe, who had a small part in two earlier films, Annabelle and Annabelle Creation. Really like that guy, so it's nice to see him with a big film under his belt. And the best part? Carl's knock-knock joke, which if you know, you know, but it makes me laugh and laugh. Check this movie out, it's great. I'm giving Catch Me If You Can a B+, and tomorrow is the first film in a non-alphabetical double feature of horror, Cellar Dweller. See y'all then.